Hope I am audible enough. So in today's session, what we'll try to cover is Azure basics. Right? To get it started with the Azure basics, so we have to know what is cloud, how the cloud is going to help us, right? What are the various options are available in the cloud, and why the cloud is so popular, right? These are the pretty basic thing what we will look upon it. So we'll be not be covering specific to the Azure, but we will be talking common scenarios or the common understanding on the cloud platform, right? So when we ask what is a cloud, right? So from when I say from the practical perspective, cloud is something which consisting of a set of a data centers uh, which are put it in a certain locations which we call it as a regions or the zones where we'll have a data centers where we can host our applications with the secured infrastructure and secured environments. So that is a layman meaning of what is a cloud, right? So what are the flavors are available in the cloud, right? So when we talk about the flavors in the cloud, we have a IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So how they make difference to your on-prem data center. So that's the comparison what we can see on this screen. So when we have your own data center, so we have to maintain right from networking, storage, your servers, OS, middleware, runtime data, and your application. So everything should be managed by your own team. So what are the drawbacks? Basically, when we want to do it by our own team, what are the major drawbacks? So the major drawbacks is maintaining the infrastructure. As you aware that our hardwares, what we get from the market, is going to be obsolete in a period of 3 or 4 years. So you have to make sure that your hardwares are upgraded time to time, and your networks has been upgraded on time to time. Your operating systems, your anti-malware softwares, so everything is upgraded on time. So this seems to be easy if your organization is in an IT sector. Now think about a hospital, right, where they want to maintain customer data or the client data, right, where they wanted to have a user interface where people come and get the appointment for the customer, for the doctors, right. In those cases, uh, for hospital, it becomes very challenging to maintain these infrastructure components, right? So finally, they end up handovering this to any of the IT company where they have to pay too much, right? They will be charged not only on the hardware or software, they will charge even on the maintenance and service charges, and there are other costs also incur. So to overcome this problem, there's a concept called cloud has been introduced. So in the cloud, we have got total three parts: IaaS part, PaaS part, and SaaS parts. So how these things really make a difference, right? So just to give you an example, right? When we say IaaS, so in IaaS, what will happens? The networking, storage, servers, and virtualization. So basically, your hardware components are being maintained by the cloud service provider. The remaining part, right, such as operating system, you can have a Windows operating system, you can have a Linux, Ubuntu, SUSE. So whichever operating system you require it, probably you can go ahead and install on that particular machine. And the middleware, if there's any middleware you are going to be using on top of it, right? So those middleware is something you can go ahead and configure as per your requirement. A runtime configuration like maintaining the kernels, right? So those kind of a things, again, it has to be maintained by the team which opt for the IaaS approach, and data and the application which are pretty much relating to your application. Those are the things again should be maintained by the person who is going to go for the IaaS kind of approach. What is a PaaS approach? So in PaaS approach, as you can see, only application and data is something is what we need to maintain. Remaining things are taken care by the cloud service provider, right? So today you might heard a lot of famous services which are being provided as a PaaS services, such as your Kubernetes services, your IoT services, your migration services, your hosting services. So those are services which are provided as a PaaS. So in SAS, what will happen is you develop your entire application, and you host it on the cloud and you leave it to the people for its consumptions. So example, if you take your Gmail account, right? So your Gmail is a SaaS kind of a product where you can just go ahead and subscribe yourself and you start utilizing Gmail for mailing purpose or for keeping the notes, reminders. So much more things you can do it on that, right? So in SaaS, it is completely taken care of by the service provider. You are just going to use or opt for that particular service. Even when you look today, OTT platforms such as Amazon, right? So where you can just go ahead and install the app and you'll just start using it. So that's a very straightforward example of how a SaaS can be looks like. And the pass, what we have to understand when we look into the RS, pass or the SaaS, right? The down layer, the layer, this particular, right? So this particular layer is something managed by the cloud service provider, right? So when they manage, when it is being managed by the cloud service provider, so what is the benefit is what I'm going to get, right? So the basic benefit, what I really care about is I can use whenever I want it and I can throw it out whenever I don't need it. So I pay the amount for the time which I'm using the certain services, right? So when I look for the past services, it's same. You use the services which are provided by the cloud, you consume it. If you don't need it, you stop that service. So very next second it will be not be charged. Another thing, interesting thing, what I have to tell is the cloud services are charged based upon the seconds even, right? There were a time where they used to charge per hour basis, but now they drill down and they came to the extent that where they will charge even the per second basis, right? So one is the major is a cost saving. Another one is quick to provision. You go ahead and click a button and your entire infrastructure is ready to be used. But if you look for the older days when we don't have a cloud kind of a services, so in those cases we have to buy the infrastructure such as a VM, and then we have to configure it. Then we have to install the required operating systems. Then we have to make sure that it is protected via the virus, and we have to bring our own LAN cables. So it takes a lot of time to build and construct a infrastructure, right? So now we don't have that burden. Okay. So when we go for a PaaS or SaaS kind of approach, there we are not going to maintain any hardware piece. Everything will be taken care by the cloud service provider, right? And another important thing is now these data centers are grown to such an extent. Today I can host my solution anywhere in the world. Right, I can host it in India, I can host it in EMEA region, I can host it in UK, Japan, China, US. Again in US, there are multiple data centers, right? We can host across the data centers. So it brings the easiness of hosting your application whenever and wherever it required. It brings you the minimal cost saving and it makes sure that your entire environment is physically protected. Now, for example, in IaaS, if you take it up, they will protect you till the virtualization, right? So beyond virtualization, such as protecting your hard disk is something responsibility with the customer. Protecting your OS against any threat or the attack, it will be lies with the customer. Protecting the network component for the IaaS approach, again, this is something has to be taken care by the customer. All right. So in this session, I wanted to keep it a very simple to tell you that what is a IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS makes the difference. So in coming next sessions, we will try to get on to the Azure portal and we will try to see that what are the various options are available in Azure portal for provisioning the IaaS, PaaS, or the SaaS kind of operations. So to before to get it started to the extent of going on to the Azure portal, so you make sure that you understand these basic concepts of AS, PaaS, and SaaS because our coming videos will be more around these segments. So if you don't understand these basic things, then it is going to be very challenging in the coming sessions. So make sure that you have a clear understanding. So if you are not able to understand or if you're not able, if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.